I think it's an amazing thing. One of the bullet points that we wanted to discuss today was parental involvement, and everyone up here has had, whether it's both parents in your life or single parents, and if you look at how people look at their parental units, as I call them, you got the cool parents who let you do everything. Then you got the strict parents where they know where you are every minute of the day. I gotta ask my mama. I gotta call my mama and let them know we going first before we get in the car. You know, I gotta ask for permission. So, and there's a hodgepodge of stages in between those two levels of parents, but where are we at in 2008 that the parents need to be involved? I mean, the dinner that you mentioned, the prayer together, which you mentioned, that keeps parents informed. So, where is it that these parents need to be, and anybody step out on this first, as far as involved in their kids' lives? Let's start with Dr.Ben.
Well, I think that the parents also need to be involved with their young people's culture. I think it's a dangerous thing for the elders in the family to be in one cultural room and the young people in the family be in another cultural room. And I hear it all the time. I can't understand my kids. Well, if you listen to music with your kids, if you watch videos with your kids, and then get them to listen to your music, there's an amazing connection between Gil Scott-Heron, James Brown, the Last Poets, and hip-hop. But if nobody never builds that bridge, you would think that every generation has to diss the previous generation. That's not the case. We inherit, it's a legacy, a proud legacy. Even dance. A lot of the dances that the young people think are new dances were dances that elders used to do a long time ago. Dancing is a part of our culture. It's a part of our who we are as a people. So I would say, Orlando, in addition to all the other excellent suggestions, I think parents need to take more time with their children. More time with not only the children in our home, I'm talking about the children in the neighborhood. The internet, somebody mentioned the internet. One reason why young people are so into MySpace or YouTube or Facebook is because of wanting to interconnect, have relationships. They're relationship building. And so why is it that, well, I'm gonna give you an example. I have a 17-year-old daughter. Her name is Anna. And I just happened to go on the computer, my daughter's on the computer, and I noticed her internet name was Thug Angel. So I said, well, baby, you definitely an angel. Well, why do you call yourself Thug Angel? And then she broke it down. She had an answer. And she said that she wanted her boyfriend to be a thug. And I said, well, let's break that down. Because, you know, and obviously her definition of a thug is not my definition of a thug. I didn't realize her definition of a thug is one who makes all that thugging, makes all A's in school. That's a different thing, that's a different kind of thug. But if I hadn't taken the time to ask my daughter what that meant, I would have got a whole prejudgment, and then she probably would have had something else on her mind. But I'm just using it as one small example. The words that we use, the language that we use, sometimes in the home, and I don't want to force my kids to say something at the dinner table, have dinner table etiquette, then they leave the table, they're on another kind of thing. I need to understand what the other kind of thing is, as well as what you and I would consider to be proper. But it's all in communication, building relationships. And if I can't build a relationship with my own children, I can't build a relationship with other people's children. So I encourage parents, don't rush to judgment on your kids so quick. Try to understand them. And respect is a two-way street. I always want young people to respect the elders, but also elders, parents, we've got to show our young people some respect.
We're going to point out some things because, you know, first of all, if it's Dr. Ben's daughter, she's going to have an answer. You know, because her daddy's going to ask. She had to have her answer ready. But the thing is, a lot of the youth in here needs to pay attention that if you do have some sort of sense, you need to be able to come up with an answer on why you did what you did. Don't just look down and say, I don't know, because I don't know. No, articulate your point. He learned something that means something to his daughter that had nothing to do with what he thought the word thug was. We use the word baller all the time, and my grandmama don't like that word because it meant something else when she was growing up. So if I say I'm a baller, she don't like that, okay? But it means something different to me, and you have to have that conversation. Now, the funny thing is they mentioned, and Michelle mentioned that she's Mama Michelle, Miss Michelle. You cook, you make sure people eat, and I know a lot of the parents out here, because we are in 2008, it is something different about letting a child come in your house. Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people's like, oh, I love feeding kids, but ooh, lawsuits. How do you approach that? Because it takes a village. We've heard that. We've heard that you need to be able to, whoop your child like you used to back in the day. But that ain't the only answer. That's not the only answer. We always lean on that. I mean, you gotta be keep the beat. No, I mean, no. You want to be able to put your hands on them out of love, but your hands have been tied a little bit. But also, because we're such a litigious state right now, you can't just bring children into your house. And so I wanted to ask Michelle and some of you on there, how do you bring that community back to a community that's looking, not so trusting right now? Grab the microphone so we can make sure we hear.
You have to know these children's parents. You have to know their parents. These are hardworking parents. Not that they don't want to make time, they can't make the time. So you fill in, you do your time. That's how, these are parents that you know. These are friends of you. But they can't make the time. These are single mothers, single fathers, and they're trying to do the best that they can. And they can't get that kid to that ball game. They can't get that kid to that movie that they want to go to. Can you take the phone and you just do it? So they're not on the bus or walking late at night. Just do it.
I think again, when I say chronologically gifted, I'm the oldest one on this panel. And when we were growing up, the neighbors, again, is very important. And I think when we were growing up, we knew our neighbors and we communicated. So if a neighbor up the street would see one of the Jones boys doing something wrong, they would tell your parents. And we talking about whoopings, ironing cords, brooms. My mother beat us with everything. It saved my life because I was in gangs. And it's very important to monitor what's happening in your neighborhood, and it extended not only right there in the immediate block, but even at the recreation center. Because the people who worked at the recreation center knew your parents. I think, again, it's team development of parents. We need to get neighborhoods to sit down and have meetings with parents in the neighborhood to find what's happening, how your child is doing. And that's not hard to team up to find out what your neighbor's child is doing, to ask questions. But you must communicate. You must find out who you are. I'll be true, I moved to a neighborhood in Miami. I don't know the neighbors. I know the neighbor on both sides, but I don't know the neighbors across the street, and they have children. I should go out and venture. Usually it's my wife. She goes, she knows everybody in the neighborhood, know all the kids. I just know two sides. That's my error. I should know all the people in the neighborhood and know who their kids are so we can help. I see little girls out here, UMF, this and that, and I say something to them, they look at me like, what are you telling me what to do? I mean, some kids will curse you out if you tell them, but that, I don't care. We are adults. They are children. We're going to lose our children if we don't be firm. Stop this fair thing. Stop being buddies. And if I pick one, firm or fair. There's nothing fair in this world. We got to be firm about taking back the family. Forgive, accept me. FAMIOY. I love you. Very important in our community that we love each other.
If we can ask, how many parents in here know the parents of the kids that are important to in their kids' lives? Like their friends, their good friends. You know their parents. You can call their parents and say so-and-so is clowning. See, every hand should be up on that. That's stuff that we can leave with it.